Have you ever wondered if the incessant competition with your siblings drains your energy? Does the need for approval cloud your decisions? Believe me, this video is for you. Let's investigate the undercurrents of sibling rivalry, this dispute that almost always has roots in childhood, and that, without us realizing it, tinges the way we interact with people. Don't be fooled, it's not just a childhood phase. Let's discover how rivalry settles into our being, generating repetitive patterns in our relationships, friendships, and in the professional environment. Allow yourself to embark on this journey of self-knowledge, where we will dissect the origins of this dynamic and find ways to build healthier and more genuine interactions. Do you still find yourself competing with your siblings, even in adulthood? Does the feeling of inadequacy compared to them still haunt you? Is there a persistent resentment, a barrier that prevents the genuine celebration of other people's success? If these questions bother you, perhaps they touch on sensitive points in your history. It's possible that you minimize these feelings, considering them normal or fleeting. But what if they are signs of deeper wounds, embedded in the family dynamics of your childhood? In your unconscious, sibling jealousy is a universal human experience, present in all families, without exception, even those that exhibit a facade of perfection. Have you ever felt guilty for harboring negative feelings towards your siblings? Has envy, competition, resentment ever haunted you? In this video, we will create a safe environment, a space to recognize, validate, and understand these complex emotions, exploring their origins and starting a healing process. Together, we will delve into the universe of sibling jealousy, transforming competition into connection, rivalry into respect, and resentment into love. Prepare yourself for a journey of self-knowledge that will lead you to healing, because your feelings matter and your story deserves to be heard with attention and care. Sibling jealousy transcends mere childhood disputes, revealing itself as a complex web of intense and ambivalent feelings. The silent envy that undermines self-esteem, the explosive anger that seeks escape, the weight of resentment cultivated in secret, and the deep sadness that emerges in moments of vulnerability intertwine, creating a challenging and often painful emotional experience. But what is the reason for this internal turbulence? At the heart of sibling jealousy lies a primal fear, the fear of losing the love and attention of parents, an acute sense that affection, dedication, and recognition, previously exclusive, are threatened. The sibling paradoxically becomes the catalyst for this insecurity, the rival in the dispute for parental affection. Childhood reveals itself as a period of powerful influence, a fertile ground where the seeds of our personality germinate. It is on this initial stage that we establish the convictions that will guide us, the ways of expressing affection, and the first manifestations of jealousy, experiences that leave deep marks, directing the way we relate to the world and with people. Why then is it crucial to illuminate this emotional dynamic? Because jealousy between siblings goes beyond the limits of childhood, persisting throughout life, influencing romantic relationships, professional choices, and the very construction of our existence, like a shadow that, without recognition, obscures the path. We are not looking for culprits or those responsible, but rather to offer a lens to observe and understand the nuances of family dynamics, the messages transmitted and internalized, both on the conscious plane and in the depths of the unconscious. Throughout this video, we will explore the deep origins of this jealousy, entering the layers of the unconscious to reveal the roots of competition and the search for validation, revealing the engine behind this feeling. We will address the Oedipus complex, a complex psychoanalytic theory, but essential to understanding family dynamics and emotional development, simplifying it so that you can perceive its subtle, yet powerful influence on your emotions and behaviors. We will discuss the vital importance of recognizing and valuing one's own uniqueness, the individuality that makes us unique. We will encourage the search to stand out, not through destructive competition, but by radiating one's own light, expressing the authentic potential that resides in each one. We will analyze the repetitive behavior patterns, the compulsion to excel, the difficulty in dealing with vulnerability, and the resistance to showing oneself as one truly is. Understanding these patterns is the first step towards transformation, and, most importantly, we will offer valuable strategies and tools to transform jealousy into opportunities for personal growth and self-knowledge. Our goal is to guide you towards liberation, assisting in breaking harmful patterns rooted in the past and paving the way for a lighter, more authentic, and happier future. Because you deserve to love and be loved unconditionally, without the shackles of competition or the fear of rejection. You deserve to feel complete and fulfilled, regardless of your siblings' achievements. Prepare yourself, then, for this journey of self-discovery, where we will explore the intricacies of jealousy between siblings, revealing its mysteries, and treading the path of personal transformation. Jealousy at times presents itself as a persistent knot in the throat, a silent pain that screams within. This complex and disturbing emotion has deep origins, born in the early years of childhood and taking root in the dark territory of the unconscious, exerting an overwhelming power over choices and reactions in adult life. To understand the intrinsic nature of jealousy, psychoanalysis offers a deep look at family dynamics. Sibling jealousy, interconnected with the Oedipus complex, reveals a deep connection with the first affective bonds. From childhood, the child begins to weave a network of desires and needs, longing for exclusivity in the love and attention of parents. However, this fantasy of total possession rarely materializes, confronting the child with reality and arming the emotional time bomb. The arrival of a new sibling can be seen as the intrusion of a rival, a threat to the exclusive love that was previously believed to be possessed. A perception that, burned into the unconscious, can generate latent conflicts. The child may interpret the situation as a cruel comparison, feeling less loved, neglected, and insignificant, a painful experience that opens a deep emotional wound, fueling envy and installing a rivalry that will manifest throughout life. The excruciating pain of comparison, the feeling of inferiority, and the perception of being devalued can inflict a narcissistic wound, a scar on the soul that lasts over time, causing suffering and preventing the full development of individual potential. Faced with pain, the unconscious mobilizes defense mechanisms to protect the individual, strategies that, although seeking to alleviate the pain, can imprison him in dysfunctional patterns. Denial manifests as an attempt to ignore jealousy, to pretend that everything is fine when the soul cries out for attention, a fragile mask that can break at any moment, revealing anguish. Projection consists of blaming the other, attributing to him the feelings of envy that reside within us, an illusory escape that prevents the individual from confronting his own emotions. Reactive formation, finally, manifests as the expression of the opposite of what one feels, such as loving the brother fervently to hide the anger, an emotional trap that generates a deep internal suffering. Childhood experiences, like a skilled sculptor, shape personality and influence behavior patterns. The unconscious, like a programmer, records past experiences and drives the individual to repeat dysfunctional patterns. Constant competition can manifest as a search for approval and validation, a desperate attempt to compensate for the feeling of inadequacy. Fragile relationships, marked by fear of rejection and difficulty in trusting the other, may be a reflection of poorly healed emotional wounds. The shadow of childhood, like a constant presence, can haunt the individual, limiting his potential and preventing him from living fully. However, in the midst of darkness, analysis, like a beacon, guides the individual to transformation and healing, allowing him to rescue the wounded child, offering him love and understanding. Healing the narcissistic wound, nurturing self-esteem, is essential for the development of a healthy personality. By breaking the repetitive patterns, the individual frees himself from the shackles of the past and builds healthy relationships, based on trust. Allowing oneself to feel emotions, welcoming pain and transforming envy into admiration is a step towards healing and personal growth. Each individual is unique, possessing an intrinsic value that deserves to be recognized and celebrated. Loving oneself, accepting oneself, and freeing oneself from the shackles of the past are the pillars of a full and happy life. Does competition consume you, like a flame that burns without ceasing? Does the venom of envy corrode you when you observe the success of your siblings? Don't torture yourself with guilt. Together we will discover the roots of this complex emotion, the hidden reason for this discomfort. Imagine John, the firstborn, who dedicated himself to being the exemplary son, the personification of family pride, with impeccable grades and highlights in sports, all to capture and retain the admired gaze of the parents. Then Mary arrived, a new son in the family constellation, and the attention previously exclusive was divided. John, without being aware of what was happening, began a subtle competition, criticizing Mary's wardrobe and diminishing her talents. In his childish mind, he felt the urgent need to reaffirm his importance, to prove that he still deserved love and approval, a behavioral pattern that took root in his unconscious. Now, visualize Anna and Pedro, siblings who seemed like soulmates, united by bonds of affection, sharing toys, secrets, and dreams, almost everything. Pedro was always labeled as the smart one, while Anna received the title of creative. However, Anna deep down felt envy of Pedro's ease in learning, admiring his ability to solve complex problems. In adulthood, this envy manifests in subtle ways, such as sabotaging Pedro's relationships, undermining his chances of happiness. Have you ever observed someone with the constant need to be the best at everything, at work, in hobbies, in every aspect of life? This behavior may be a reflection of unresolved sibling jealousy, an incessant search for external approval, the need to feel superior to others to compensate for inner insecurity. Sibling jealousy acts like a shadow, a ghost from the past that accompanies us from the early years, guiding our choices and leading us to repeat destructive patterns without us realizing it. Imagine the weight of constant comparison. He is more handsome. She is smarter. Why can't you be like your brother? These cruel phrases, planted like poisonous seeds in our minds, undermine self-esteem and imprison us in a cycle of self-criticism, preventing us from celebrating our achievements. This competition, rooted in childhood, can manifest in unexpected ways in romantic relationships, with excessive jealousy, fear of being replaced, and the belief that we are not good enough to deserve love. In the workplace, rivalry disguises itself as envy, difficulty in collaborating, unfair competition, and sabotage, all to prove one's own worth. Perhaps your parents, unintentionally, have constantly compared you to your siblings, encouraging competition and creating a toxic family environment where love was conditional. Do not blame yourself for feeling what you feel. Your feelings are valid, regardless of their origin. The first step to healing is to recognize this shadow, identify its presence, and understand its origin. Only then will you be able to free yourself from its harmful influence and prevent it from controlling your actions. Remember, you don't have to be like your sibling to be loved. Embrace your uniqueness, celebrate your qualities, and recognize your value. Break free from the shackles of competition and embrace your individuality with pride and authenticity, because you deserve to be happy, fully happy, without having to compare yourself to anyone. Has the bond of blood, which should nurture, turned into a chain? Does sibling jealousy imprison you in webs of envy? Do not despair. Even in darkness there is the promise of a new dawn. Do not expect immediate solutions. True change emerges from a continuous process, from an inner journey guided by self-knowledge. In this search, psychoanalysis emerges as a compass, pointing the direction to the origins of your emotions, and offering tools to navigate the turbulent waters of the unconscious. The first step requires courage to face the shadows of childhood that haunt the present. Individual therapy awaits you as a sanctuary, a safe space where you can revisit the past without fear, accompanied by an experienced professional. There, on the couch, memories awaken, wounds open, and traumas are revealed. Do not let yourself be paralyzed by fear. There is a therapist ready to support you. With the help of a professional, undo the emotional knots, free yourself from the shackles of the past, and rescue the fraternal love that was lost. Has the family dynamic become a battlefield? Is communication interrupted and resentment poisoning relationships? Family therapy can rekindle the flame of unity. It is a meeting place where each family member can express their feelings, be heard, and understood. Through dialogue, it is possible to heal the wounds. Empathy reconnects hearts. Recognize the role of each one, undo the patterns that fuel the conflict, and embrace the opportunity for reconciliation, allowing forgiveness to flourish. Slow down the pace, and dedicate time to observe yourself, analyzing your thoughts, reactions, and emotions. What situations awaken jealousy? What are the triggers? Write down your discoveries in a diary, seeking to understand the origins of your suffering. Welcome your emotions, even the painful ones, and understand the motivations that drive you. Self-observation is a transformative tool that frees you from automatic reactions, allowing you to act with more awareness. Your sibling is not your adversary, he also carries his pains. Strive to see the world through his eyes, understanding his motivations and feelings. Compassion is the antidote to rivalry. It dissolves resentment and opens space for understanding, nurturing, fraternal love. Stop comparing yourself to your sibling. Each person is unique, with their talents, abilities, and path. You are special in your own way. Do not try to be who you are not. Focus on your personal growth, invest in your talents, and develop your passions, seeking your best version. The wounds of childhood can become scars of strength, remembering your ability to overcome challenges. Transform pain into learning, using your experiences to become a stronger and more compassionate person. Rescue your story, reconnect with your roots, and rewrite your future, building a narrative of overcoming. Believe in yourself. You have the power to change your life. Healing sibling jealousy is a challenging process, which requires courage and self-compassion, but the result compensates for every effort. The freedom to love unconditionally, to celebrate the success of the other, and to build a fraternal relationship based on trust. We hope that this video has offered a new perspective on the complex dynamics of sibling jealousies. Thank you for dedicating this time to explore the depths of the unconscious with us. If this content touched you in some way, perhaps it awakened some memory or understanding, we invite you to share it. By doing so, you can help other people find a path to more harmonious relationships. Self-knowledge is a continuous journey, and there is always more to discover about ourselves. Continue to explore beyond the unconscious to unravel other facets of the mind and human behavior. We'll see you in the next video, ready to continue expanding our understanding.